Now let's talk about the make of the belt or the chain, right? So for example, you can see I'm wearing a wristwatch which has a metal chain, right? So predominantly, you will see two different kinds of makes, right? One can be a metallic chain, the other one can be a leather or a rubber soft belt, right? So either it can be belt or chain. So normally when we talk about chain, we talk about the metal. Now, which one is good? Let's discuss in detail. So when we talk about a metal chain, the one which the kind of the chain which I'm wearing, right? So that is associated with a muscular energy, right? Or the muscular energy, the male energy. Okay, so if you see a lot of men, especially people who are in real estate, politicians, sportsmen, etc., they generally go for an expensive watch or a heavy watch, a watch which is, as explained in earlier videos, a heavy dial, a large dial, and also something which is made up of a chain. So they want to basically flaunt around their watches, so like this, and a couple of mobiles. So when they go for a business presentations, you will see them flaunting their big metal chain and the big dial, right? So watch. Why? As I said, because a metal chain is associated with, or metal in general is associated with masculinity or male energy. Doesn't mean that only male should wear, right? So even females actually can wear. Okay, I will explain that in a little later. Now let's talk about the other type of make, which is the soft, either a wood, a rubber or a leather belt. When we generally talk about belt, we associate with leather. The leather can be a natural animal leather or a synthetic one. What we call it as a fur leather, right? So it can also be made up of rubber. Now, when we talk about leather or rubber, we associate that with feminine energy because they are very soft. So when we talk about soft materials like leather or rubber, then the normal traits or the characteristics are sensitivity, caring, loving, more empathetic, somebody who is more emotional, right? So these are the traits. On the contrary, the negativity or the negative factors or the drawbacks of these soft leather, fur leather or rubber belts can be they are very susceptible, right? Because it can be easily damaged or broken. So while the positive aspects can be, as I said, feminine emotions like love, care, sensitivity, emotions, empathy, etc. Also flexibility, right? Because rubber or leather is flexible, so these people can be very flexible. They can be very soft. But the negative side of this can be too soft and susceptible, vulnerable for damages, right? Because as I said, over a period of time, they get damaged very easily compared to the metal chains. So you have to decide what kind of person you are, right? And what are the traits you would like to associate yourself with or want to manifest or attract towards you. As I said, whatever you wear on your wrist basically influences your subconscious mind. So if you want to increase your reasoning ability, or as I said, the male characteristics or male energy, okay, so then go ahead with something what I am wearing, a strong durable metal chain. But if you are someone who wants to be little introvert, who don't want to flaunt around your watch, who just happy, keeping it up to you, but you are someone who is very empathetic, loving, caring, want to be flexible, adaptable, etc. Uh, like as I said, which is the characteristics of the feminine energy. Then go ahead and wear a watch which is in which you find a soft leather, a fur leather, or a rubber belt. So these are broadly the two different types of makes. Now let me explain three other things apart from the make. One, the width of the belt or the chain. Now let's understand first of all why you wear or why there is a chain or a belt in the wristwatch. Obviously, for the reason because you need it to hold the dial on the wrist, right? Because without the belt or the chains, obviously you can't wear, right? So you need some support. That means the job or the role of these chains or belts is to support the dial. I reiterate, support. Support is the key word here. So if you are wearing a chain or a belt which is strong, which is wide, right, without too much of gaps or holes, that means you are bound to get good support, or your support system will be stronger. I repeat, so wear either it can be a belt or it can be a chain, but it should be wide. If you see, this is quite wide, quite strong. There are no holes, there are no gaps. But you will see a lot of fancy chains or belts where it is very thin, very light, lot of gaps, lot of holes. That means what happens to the support you are seeking, the support system? It becomes weaker. So a lot of people don't know all these things. They just put on anything, right? So remember this. Stronger, wider belt or chain means better support system. Weaker, lighter belt or chain with lot of holes, gaps in between means weaker support system. It is directly proportional. This is one. Second, you will also see a lot of special belts or chains, especially uh, okay. So the belts, you will see all kinds of shapes, okay, awkward shapes, okay, though they may look little fancy, but they may not do the job of holding the dial, which is indirectly or directly, as I said, is the support you are expecting. The other thing is a lot of people nowadays put a lot of gemstones and all kinds of stuff as a part of the chain or the belt, especially the chain, right? Now, unless you are very sure which are these gemstones, are they lucky for you, unlucky for you, don't just put on those chains, right, or belts, because every gemstone or a crystal what you're going to wear will also have a significant impact on your life. Okay, so I'm not explaining gemstone crystals are a part of this series, but they do have their very important role to play in our lives, right? Because as an occultist, as a numerologist, see, I wear gemstones, I wear crystals, and I've written a book about it. So it is very important that you be aware of if at all any gems, crystals, etc., are there on your watches. So otherwise, it can have a consequence, both good and bad, right? So this is how basically you need to choose the kind of belt or chain, okay, in addition to the dial, which I'm already explained in last three videos, and I'll be explaining in the future videos as well, in the part 6, 7, 8. Okay, so make sure that you pick not only your dial consciously, but also the kind of belt or the chain